Some dogs are not just well loved, they have their humans completely wrapped around their paw. What about your dog? And is that always a good thing? Watch for these 11 signs to find out. Number 11. Imagine coming home to find your dog sprawled across the couch like it is their personal sunbathing lounge, or curled in your bed with a pillow tucked under their chin. I imagine, for a lot of you, you don't have to imagine. Your gorgeous pooch may be doing it literally right now. This is, in one way, a wonderful thing. Sadly, some dogs live in homes where they don't feel welcome in every corner of the house because of how their owners behave. They may even be banned from rooms. So the fact that you've created a vibe that makes your dog feel like they can do what they want, where they want, is wonderful. It's flattering that your dog feels safe enough to claim every corner of your home. But like most things in this video, what seems positive at first can actually be a springboard to something much more concerning. Boundaries can blur. Dogs who feel entitled to every space may react badly when those spaces are suddenly off limits, even temporarily. You might see territorial behaviors, or stress if you close off a room, or even a subtle possessiveness when you sit in their spot, even though it is technically your house. Dr. Karen Overall explains that dogs form deep emotional connections to specific spaces, just like we might to a stadium, a church, or a favorite pub. The more a dog controls access to high-value areas, the more emotionally invested and protective they become. This means that their comfort and ease with a space can spiral into a more resource-guarding mindset. And that's an issue. Your dog should obviously feel welcome in your home, but they should never be possessive of it. Your dog claiming the couch is adorable, but if they start guarding it, growling, or refusing to move, what you're seeing is a classic case of a dog who's been a little too spoiled and isn't sure where the line is anymore. To fix this gently, use positive reinforcement. Teach off commands with treats to make leaving a space feel rewarding. And if you can, provide an alternative throne to the space they've become possessive of. A special bed or mat that always stays theirs builds security without territorial issues. If any of that felt familiar, wait for Number 10. You are sitting on the couch, holding a sandwich you've been waiting all day to eat. But as you try to tuck into it, the giant, adorable eyes stare at you with the determined focus of Quentin Tarantino looking at a foot. Then things get taken to the next gear. A paw creeps onto your lap, or maybe it's just flat out plopped onto you. And it's hard to resist, right? So perhaps you share a bite. What's one little crumb between best friends? It may look and feel like sharing special moments and strengthening your emotional bond, which it does. But, and you knew a but was coming, at what cost? Long-term, a habit of feeding your dog meal scraps can lead to all sorts of problems, such as digestive upset and unhealthy cravings. And more than that, you will have times in the future when you have no choice but to refuse their request. If you're eating chocolate, for example, which can make dogs very sick. But your precious pooch will be so used to you giving them exactly what they want, they will get frustrated and even angry when you deny them. The American Veterinary Medical Association notes that feeding human food can condition dogs to expect food during human mealtimes. Not only does this lead to an increase in begging, but also to stress. Dogs do not understand food boundaries. They simply learn that your eating equals potential reward. To avoid spoiling your dog with an odd bite here and there, so often that they lose all concept of what is appropriate, try to stick to dog-friendly snacks at designated times, not during your meals. Redirect begging with enrichment toys or healthy chews while you eat, if you can. And as often as possible, reinforce patience. Reward calm behavior after meals to encourage self-control. Number 9. Your days as a proudly independent person are over, whether you want them to be or not. You are bleary-eyed, pouring your first coffee, and there, sitting on your feet, is your dog, tail thumping away like a fluffy metronome. You stand up, they stand up. You go to the bathroom, and guess who's along for the ride? If you hop into the car, they'd probably try to help you drive. No corner of your vital morning routine goes untouched by that beaming, expectant face. It's sweet. It feels like love. Who wouldn't want that? Here's the thing. Right now it's fine, but with time, it might not be. If your dog can't function without being glued to you, that's not just attachment. And over-attachment is one of the most overlooked signs of a dog who's been unintentionally spoiled. When we give in to every request for attention, always let them follow us everywhere, and never teach them how to be alone, we create a dependency they're not equipped to handle. It's often a springboard to serious issues like overdependence, separation anxiety, and a painful drop in confidence if they are ever excluded. A clingy dog is happy only when with you. But you can't be home all day, can you? You've got jobs to work and stuff to do. If only there was a way to explain it to your dog. In his book Dog Sense, the animal expert, Dr. John Bradshaw, explains that dogs are social creatures with deep instincts to belong. Dogs who constantly shadow their owners are significantly more likely to exhibit stress behaviors when left alone, including vocalizing, destructive chewing, or pacing. And very few people want to come home to a neighbor who is angry that your dog was barking all day or a cushion that's been chewed to smithereens. The key to breaking this habit before it escalates into something much worse is to teach gradual alone time. Start by stepping outside for 2 minutes, then 5, building trust that you'll return. Then create a comfort zone. A cozy crate or mat with toys and treats helps them practice being alone and happy. What you're aiming for is what I'm going to call strategic inclusion. It is sweet to have them near. Just try to choose part of the day for presence and part for independent time. Being more confident alone will only make them a happier dog in the long run. But sometimes the closeness is not just physical. Number 8. Let's say your dog nudges your hand with their nose. Is the immediate response to pause everything and offer affection? Later, the dog may roll onto their back and give you that stare. What to do? Very tempting to pause and show mid-plot twist to provide emergency belly rubs. Showing physical affection is a beautiful thing. We all should absolutely give our dogs love. But when a dog learns that they can get instant cuddles anytime they demand it, it stops being about bonding. Dr. Patricia McConnell explains in the other end of the leash that when we reward demand-based affection constantly, dogs can struggle to understand boundaries. It teaches them that affection is something they're entitled to. And here's where it spirals. Dogs who expect constant attention can become frustrated when they don't get it. That frustration turns into pawing, barking, whining, all because they've been unintentionally trained to believe that love equals now. So, how do you fix it without making them feel rejected? Start by rewarding calm behavior instead. Offer affection when they're lying down quietly, not when they're nudging you like a push notification. Use not now cues, a short phrase and hand signal that says, I see you, but not right this second. And build in structured cuddle time, so they feel secure without having to beg for it. Because yes, a spoiled dog gets lots of love. But the best kind of love is the kind that helps them feel confident, not clingy. And speaking of things you can overdo, there's something else many owners give way too much of. Number 7. When we think of spoiled children, the main thing that jumps to mind is too many toys. But is too many toys also an issue for our precious pooches? If you've been kind and loving enough to bless your pup with a basket full of plush animals, squeaky bones, puzzle toys, and probably an old t-shirt or 9, your dog is living in a toy paradise. But there are issues with keeping them endlessly entertained and mentally stimulated. Because it's kind of the dog equivalent of having too many apps on their phone, as it may lead to short attention spans, decreased appreciation for each toy, and less patience. In a roundabout way, it's sort of a stepping stone toward the dog version of ADHD, and that is a much more frustrating and debilitating condition than many people realize. For that reason, instead of giving your dog constant access to a whole Toy Story trilogy's worth of toys, try rotating toys weekly to keep novelty high. Focus on quality over quantity. Interactive puzzle toys build problem-solving and patience. And if you have the time and energy, join play sessions to make toys socially rewarding, not just objects. But toys are not the only thing your dog might demand. Number 6. The leash is in the owner's hand, but the dog is zigzagging down the street, nose to the ground, practically pulling like a furry sledge team. Technically, it's an owner walking a dog, but sometimes it looks more like the other way around. Now, this doesn't inherently mean they are too spoiled. In fact, in some of our own videos, we've talked about occasionally letting a dog take charge during walks so they can feel some agency. But the most important word there is occasionally. In fact, that's the most important word in the whole video and could be used in every single topic we've discussed. If this is just the constant status quo, it may lead to confusion about leadership, pulling behaviors, and anxiety when they are not in control, which you may have to deny them from time to time, such as trying to get them home. In fact, the Association of Professional Dog Trainers states that inconsistent walk rules contribute to frustration-based leash reactivity, as dogs learn they are in charge of the walk's flow. What we would advise is to mix exploration time with structured walking. Use a clear start and stop cue for sniffing breaks. And of course, reward following your lead with treats and praise. Now is the perfect time to crack out your best "Who's a good dog?" And sometimes dogs even influence your entire day. Number 5. Dogs love a routine. And pretty quickly, after welcoming a gorgeous new pup into your life, you'll see them start to adapt to your schedule and become one with it. For they are the schedule and the schedule is them. However, according to Dr. Karen Overall, problems arise when they are not just participating in your routines, but actively leading and shaping them. Now, granted, they're not exactly taking a red pen to your calendar and shaking things up, but they can influence the rhythms of your day in subtle ways. Do you rearrange work calls to avoid disturbing your dog's naps? Do you skip plans because you feel guilty leaving them home alone? This may feel like you are respecting their needs, as dogs are man's best friend, but a friendship is a two-way street, and respecting their needs should not mean sacrificing your own. If your dog expects a little too much of your day to suit their needs, we'd strongly recommend gradually adding small routine changes to build flexibility, offering mental enrichment before you leave to shift focus, and rewarding calm behavior when returning instead of making reunions a big event. Number 4. If you move from the couch to the kitchen, there they are. If you step outside to grab the mail, they wait at the door, tail wagging. No matter where you go, your dog is with you. It means they're loyal and feel safest at your side. Here's the catch. A study published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior in 2020 found that dogs who lack independent play or exploration are more prone to noise reactivity and social fearfulness. Or, to put it bluntly, dogs that rely too much on being with their human have reduced social confidence, heightened fearfulness, and as a direct result of being more reserved, miss out on vital experiences that build mental growth. In fact, research from Bristol University found that dogs who spent more time alone as puppies in safe, enriching environments showed lower anxiety levels later in life. Independence, when nurtured early, seems to be one of the best emotional investments you can make in your dog's future well-being. So if you feel your dog is heading in the clingy direction, you've got options. First, encourage exploration. One simple trick trainers use is called the scatter game. Just toss a small handful of kibble or treats on the floor before leaving the room. It gives your dog a foraging mission and gently shifts their attention away from you. Second, socialize them gradually. Let them meet new people or dogs in calm, low-pressure settings. And finally, reward distance. Praise and treat them when they venture away from you, even briefly. Interestingly, one behavioral study found that dogs who were encouraged to make independent choices and then called back and rewarded had higher oxytocin spikes than those who simply followed their owners everywhere. In other words, a little space might actually make your bond stronger. Number 3. Who doesn't love it when their dog flops down on their human's pillow so they can snooze right next to their fave human's face? It's heart-melting to crawl into bed and find your best pal in the world curled up and waiting for you. You know the bad news is coming by now, right? On the upside, it is one of the ultimate signs of trust to be that vulnerable with you. According to Dr. Stanley Coren, author of How Dogs Think, dogs often choose to sleep where your scent is strongest because it provides emotional security. So, congrats to you. Your love is so strong that even your smell can make them feel safe. Ready for the bad bit now? If this becomes a nightly ritual, it can create boundary confusion. Dogs are masters of pattern recognition. If they sleep on your pillow every single night, they can start to see it as their territory rather than a shared space. And the problem is, territorial ownership can lead to subtle behavioral shifts. When dogs feel ownership over specific areas, they can become slightly more possessive, even toward the person they adore the most. This does not mean you should ban them from the bed altogether. I promise to never give that advice about anything ever, especially if you love having them there. But if you notice them growling when you shift positions, or giving you that move over human look, it's a clue they might be getting a little too comfortable calling the shots. Number 2. There's a chewed-up shoe by the door, a mysterious puddle in the hallway, a dog ignores a recall again. But then comes that face. Soft eyes, floppy ears, tail wagging like nothing ever happened. In many homes, these moments get a pass. A sigh, a smile, the dog lives in a house full of affection and forgiveness. But when misbehavior is consistently overlooked because it's cute, something else takes root. Over time, this can lead to confusion, anxiety, and frustration. A dog who doesn't know what's expected of them can feel fully secure. According to behavior experts, dogs thrive on clear, consistent structure. It doesn't limit their joy, it protects it. Number 1. When a brand new person our dogs have never met enters our home, it can be a big deal. Our pups have a millisecond to make an assessment, and boy, do they make it. For some dogs, the mere presence of anyone new triggers them to unleash a crazy torrent of barking. When that happens, you may be inclined to think, "Oh, they're just looking out for me." Good news? You're right. Bad news? Only kind of. Research by Dr. Adam McCloskey, author of The Dog, A Natural History, shows that dogs are acutely tuned to human social bonds. When they feel firmly attached to a particular human, they often adopt that person as part of their core pack, which can trigger protective instincts like, howling at people entering their personal space. The problem is that excessive barking at guests is not just about protection. It can also be a sign of severe over-attachment. When dogs see you as their human in a possessive sense, they can get anxious about anyone else entering your shared space. It's an emotional mix of love, loyalty, and unfortunately, insecurity. According to a 2018 study in Applied Animal Behavior Science, dogs with higher separation-related anxiety were more likely to display protective or possessive barking behaviors. This doesn't mean your dog is mean or aggressive. It means they love you so much that they feel responsible for guarding you. And that's wonderful. That's great. Certainly means anybody breaking into your home might have a tough time. But if not gently managed, this protective streak can lead to stress for your dog. They feel like they have to be on constant alert. Reassuring them that guests are safe, rewarding calm behavior, and maintaining consistent introductions can help shift this from anxious love to relaxed love. Some people don't even need to try spoiling. Dogs just gravitate to them. Do you have these traits that all dogs are drawn to?